Welcome to Azure's Lagoon. Thanks for joining me on my first talk video other than the intro video to this channel that I posted about 2 weeks ago, I guess. Now, a lot of people say that the first impression is the key to just about anything, which I totally agree. If you watch my intro video, I don't know what kind of impressions y'all had of me presenting myself for just about 10 minutes. But the first thing I want to remind y'all is that I was born and grew up in a non-English speaking country all the way until I graduated from high school. So my first language is Japanese. I'm not anything like shy or nervous at all. I just don't consider myself as a naturally talented or fluent public speaker, even when I talk in Japanese. So maybe my cultural background doesn't have much to do with how I might sound when I choose to speak in a specific fashion. Maybe it's just my ability or personality, but hey, nobody is perfect, right? All that matters is, in my opinion, whether you sound cool or like a fool, whether you're good or bad, you are passionate and authentic enough to carry and deliver your messages. And here's my message for today. Well, before the actual message, let me start by sharing a story with y'all. So I guess it was like 5 or 6 years ago. I was still in the States and in college, and one night I was in a strip club. By the way, I don't go to a strip club to get a lap dance or receive any kind of service that they might offer, let alone throwing a bunch of dollar bills on the main stage at the front. Well, I understand that. If every guy living in America was like me, all the strip clubs will be out of business by tomorrow. But you know, that's just my own thing. When I go to a place like that, I usually find a relatively quiet spot in the back, but still able to see what's going on the stage. Looking to witness some sensual, artistically erotic beauty that kind of inspires me as a man in good ways. Which is quite different from, shaking your ass to the typical beat of gangsta hip-hop songs or getting in some bounce up and down actions like a mindless animal. But even if all I want is to get laid or something, I'd rather go somewhere else with a much better deal, environment, and so on. So that night, while I was just being myself, as always, basically, sitting back and relaxed, one of the dancers came up, sat next to me, and started talking to me in a certain manner. I forgot the small details, but there's actually an entry on my diary, so I do remember some of the important parts of the conversation between me and her. She told me her stage name is Luna, and she's originally from Germany. At first she was telling me, oh, you're so cute, this, or you have a nice body, that, but apparently her ultimate purpose was to make some bucks out of my pocket. When I turned down her offer to give me a lap dance, she said, well, why come to the strip club if you don't get a dance? And then I said, well, it's not that I don't like you, and in fact, you're definitely my type. I'm just not into bringing up some kind of negotiation exchange of commodity. Well, we're just having a good time and talking and getting to know with each other. Now, when I say stuff like that, usually, either she may walk away or I just let her go, as I respect her choice of moving on to the next customer who will be willing to satisfy her needs as an employee of the club more than me, who's just basically pay for the entrance and a cup of drink. Or if she's already made a tip out to the management, she has really nothing else to do, or she's simply tired of working or dealing with a bunch of other guys. But you know how typical guys act and behave in a strip club. If she feels comfortable and not too offended by my style and preference, she may very well stay with me for a little longer, just chilling and communicating. However, this girl, Luna, was so much more straight to the point than any other exotic entertainers I've met before. She said, so you just want to have sex? I said, well, yeah, why not? I'm a heterosexual man after all. And she said, do you have big dick? I said, which one is that you really want? Big D or big O? You know what that means. And she said, a big dick that can please me. I said, what's your standard of big? Like, how many inches? She said, like 8 or 9 inches. And I said, you wish. Well, too bad, mine isn't that big. But it'll be fair because your ass isn't that big either. I just said in a playful way, with no intention of belittling or offending her. And then we got interrupted by a waiter momentarily, but it looked like she was trying to stay with me, so I continued. So what do you think? You think all Japanese guys have small dicks? And she said, I'm not sure. And I said, well, have you had sex with a Japanese guy before? She said, yep, his dick was like this. Maybe like 3.5 inches. And I said, very nice. So how was it? I mean, how was the experience? She said, it was awful. And I said, well, why was it so awful? Like, is it because he had a short pencil dicks? No. Guess what Luna said in reply? She actually turned a little serious and said, because he didn't know what he was doing. That's all she said as an answer to my question. Well, maybe it was also true that she'd personally prefer, so to speak, big dicks. But just think about it. When I asked her why she did not enjoy sharing the intimate moment with whoever the Japanese guy was, is because he was ignorant about how to please a woman in bed. I thought it was very interesting. The important part is just up to this point, so about the rest of the night I'll leave it up to your imagination because I really don't want to make this whole prologue or preface of this video any longer. So here you go, thanks for waiting. I chose this topic because I know so many guys don't talk about it openly but are still having lots of issues in their mind for sure. Does penis size matter? The answer is, it does. If you don't know how to sexually satisfy a woman without using your penis. We'll put it like this. Let's say you have a small penis and you're pretty clueless about how to please your girlfriend or wife in the bedroom. What's going to happen is she'll either fake orgasm or more likely cheat on you for someone with a larger penis, regardless of how good or bad that guy may be in bed. And then when somebody found out, she'll say, because my boy got a small one or something. Or let's say if your cock is actually bigger than average, but about how to kiss, caress, and touch, and lick her body in the way she likes, if you don't give a fuck about them, she won't give a fuck about how big your thing is either. Or it's very possible that she may even leave you for someone with a smaller penis or a less muscular or athletic physique, but who knows how to give her what she wants better than you do. Now, your ears may hurt a little bit, but I'm going to tell you straight up, so listen. Before you consider spending your money and soul for all those bullshit ass enhancement pills or self-proclaimed supplements out there, risking your health significantly by various kinds of second-hand effects. Make a girl come at least 3 to 5 times before you put your fucking thing inside of her. If you can't do that, you're basically missing the point. Y'all gotta realize this. Media and society have done such an outstanding job fucking up people's mind big time. Like, if you want to get the pussy of a hot chick, like, you gotta be big or some stupid childish shit that too many people buy into. Things like, I'm not gonna say all, but some porn videos and other forms of adult entertainment, or even how they often describe the personal lives of professional athletes, really sending this type of low-level, vulgar ways of interpretation or looking at things that it's so far from the truth, especially for women, including those so-called hot chicks. If you want to be a real stud, the type of man that so many women hit on before he does, and beg for his attention or keep calling him back for a more intimate interaction, the type of guy, you really gotta understand that there's something so much more magnetically attractive to women than how many inches or centimeters. Whether in America or in Japan, in reality there are so many women who don't like big cock. For several reasons, like because it's too intimidating or it actually hurts as fuck. Now, you can choose to learn so much from adult films, but just keep in mind that sex on camera and off camera have quite different purposes and desired outcomes in the first place. More details about the adult industry, I'll probably do another videos on that, but I remember, gosh, I forgot his name. There's an American male porn actor saying that his penis is about 7 inches, but some of the girls he slept with in his past says if the 7 inches is too big for them. Meanwhile, Tasha Rain says her perfect happy size is about 5 inches. Chrissy Land says she just doesn't care at all. And so many other popular ones in the industry are on the same side. Well, think about this. If you have more than 8 inches from the root to the tip, you're definitely not able to put your penis in all the way in anyway, because the tip of a woman's cervix, the dead end, is not that far from the entrance of her vagina. So you're really gonna learn how to control and shift the pace of the depth of insertion and the pace of penetration. But this is a fundamental of sex that applies to all men with all sizes. Heterosexual men, as far as I know. Women talk all the time about how most men suck in bed, but guess what? They can suck too. Pretty or ugly has nothing to do with it. I mean, look, many of the world's prettiest women are literally fucked up over their sex lives. One of the reasons is that they are so good at faking orgasms, sometimes for years, and men usually have no idea that their girlfriends or wives are actually faking for the most part. I mean, if you are committed partners, you should be able to open enough to communicate with clarity and respect at the same time about anything y'all do together. Of course, sex is not an exception. If you don't give each other honest feedbacks, there's no way a man or woman get any good at pleasing his or her partners. However, do those women talk or care about how big or small a man's penis is? Simple and true answer. Not as much as most men think at all. Some women do care a lot about how hard it gets when erected, which is what so many guys often forget because they are way too busy being insecure about something so insignificant and superficial. Well, the funny thing is that how big your cock is for a man equals how many inches. But when women say or hear big cock, they're usually thinking about the girth or thickness rather than length. You can have a 9 or 10 inch penis that's thin as a chopsticks or soft and fluffy as a raccoon's tail. Is your girl gonna like it? Maybe, maybe not. I know this video is mainly about demystifying the penis size nonsense, but let me talk just a little bit about the height too, because essentially it's the same childish number game going on too often. If you're on Tinder, for instance, once in a while you may come across with someone looking decently sexy and classy to your eyes, with the femininity triggering all your visual senses. But once you go down to read her profile, it says, "Don't message me or swipe right if you're shorter than 6 or 5'9" or whatever. I'd call them, I don't know, victims of patriarchal, mathematical hierarchy or checklist of bureaucratic hard copy paperwork, but you know what I'm saying. If the women you're strongly wishing to connect with is clearly being a bitch and insisting on going for these criteria, ask yourself, do you really want that woman? Is she really worth giving up even a little bit of your precious time and energy or deserve your attention? Is she really the type of woman who makes you happy or brings you any kind of benefit, whether long-term or short-term, or even just for a night or two? Just think about it. Even when some women say that they only take a big cock, I'll tell you what, most likely it's not that they hate a small one. They may say they do, but what's actually going on is that they bring up the size issue and use that statement as an excuse for their actions, essentially because they just can't find a true good man who cares to please or fuck them good. that has in fact almost nothing to do with the size. Well, to me it's so amusing to hear when at some guys posting videos on YouTube of interviewing some random women on the beach or on the street, asking them about penis size preferences. Even when some girls say that their perfect size is like 5, 6, or 7 inches, whatever the number, I mean, how accurate are they? I mean, how many of their partners are actually open and tolerant enough to let them pull out a ruler or measuring tape to verify the length without breaking the mood or, after they get rock hard and ready and all? Well, for me, it's super easy to measure because, well, my hand is not that big at all as an adult male, I guess. When I open my thumb and pointing finger apart as wide as I can, that's my length. About 6 inches when fully erected, or it could be even shorter, like 5 something, and yeah, definitely not reaching up to 6 when my biorhythm is not that high and I can get my best conditioned hard on. And you'll see once you do research on Google or whatever, so many sources say that the 5.5 to 6.3 is the global average. Well, better yet, check this out. To be 100% honest. You know what, here? Let me show you how 5 or 6 inches looks like. Can you see it? Yeah, this is right about the size of my cock when I get a happy hard on. Well, maybe a little bit thinner overall, and definitely not this dark. By the way, I'm only like 5 or 6-ish. So if you got this much of a height and the length of your cock, at least I can tell you from my experience, you should have absolutely no problem at all. Go ahead and enjoy connecting, communicating, and having intimate interaction with any type of women you wish, shallow or deep, in and out of bed. Well, unless she's a robber or serial killer or some sort. When I lived in California, my homegirl, she used to like to go clubbing. One night, she said she met this short, chubby Mexican guy. People around him knew him for sleeping with lots of women. According to what I remember, not only that he was short and chubby, his cock was not that big either, but he certainly had a big confidence and attitude when talking to not just women but anyone without fear or shyness. Well, I never met this guy myself, and even if I had, I probably wouldn't figure out how many inches his penis is. But it's very true that some guys have about 9-inch penis and are still nervous or insecure for some reason. Other men got only 4, even 3 inches, but are rocking their women's world through penetration all day. Well, in fact, if you got at least 3.5 inches, you can reach and hit the G-spot. That itself will bring incredible amount of pleasure and arousal to women, if done in good ways. Imagine lesbians and bisexual women. Say it one more time. Lesbians and bisexual women, how they intertwine and please each other. They don't even have a fucking cock, right? Although it's kind of sad thing depending on the way you look at it, but you can guess that there's a reason that some bisexual women in reality prefer sleeping with another woman to men. That also comes down to how you, as a man, can get great in bed still with your boxer on or putting a cover sheet on your thing. Maybe not as important as the hardness or thickness, but shape. According to what I heard from so many women, most men in Japan have straight penis, but if you look overseas, you'll see that a penis can also take many different shapes. Several years ago, back then when I was in the States, my friends and I used to make fun of Ray J, who appears on Kim Kardashian's sex tape, because his dick seemed to be curving to the side. So we're like, what kind of fucking cock is that, man? And I, at least, had never seen anything like that until then. Oh well, my distant memory. I've met some women who told me that they can tell the length and shape of a man's penis just by looking at his face or his thumb, and according to them, I was not an exception. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. Maybe women's unique, intuitive ability. I don't know. But anyway, for men, you are not your fucking cock. Your cock is a part of your body, but it's not who you are as a sum total or what validates you to become a man. Just like when a woman has a relatively small set of tits and ass, she is still a woman, right? Especially if you're seeking for more than average sexual or intimate encounters with women, you gotta have a certain level of mindset. About the mindset, instead of only me telling ya, you gotta do this, be like this. Here, I'm gonna introduce a couple of guys in the industry or what they say about all these who have more than average sex drive and love for women, apparently, and receives a lot of love from women in return. Just as a few examples. Marcus London. I've watched quite a few of his works, so I can tell that his penis is not that big at all. But it's curved downward, which is seemingly perfect for hitting G-spot on doggy style. I actually met Marcus and talked with him a little bit. That was on the hallway of the hotel where an AVN convention in Las Vegas took place in 2013. What I noticed before anything was he was so short. I mean, sorry Marcus, but like I said earlier, I'm like 5'6" and never consider myself a tall guy. But obviously he was even shorter than me. I mean, I say this because I know for the fact that you're the type of man who really understand what women wants. A short British guy with seemingly a short penis, but way above the majority of guys regarding genuine bedroom skills, experiences, and presence as a lover. Thumbs up to you as always. You don't fuck a woman with your cock, but with your whole body, attitude, and presence. This word comes from another British porn actor with an average-sized penis, although he's already retired from the industry. Kenny Styles. He said some male performers in the industry have even smaller penises than him. I think a lot of people know him also for being a pioneer of an Eastern origin man having quite a successful career in the Western adult industry, despite all sorts of odd stereotypes. Meanwhile, James Dean, 2013 AVN Male Performer of the Year, gives a pretty funny but straightforward comment on the size issue. He goes, "Guys talk to me about small dicks, big dicks, etc., but most girls don't care. Some girls like big dicks, some girls like small dicks. The majority of girls, if they want to fuck you, they're going to fuck you, and they're not going to kick you out of bed just because you have a small dick or something like that. So get out of your fucking head. Period." In addition, well, this guy is not an adult film actor, but there's a guy named Eric Von Sydow who apparently knows a lot about sex. One of his talk videos on YouTube focuses on pleasing women with a small penis or something. He has a very creative style of delivering his messages and really speaking to the viewer's mind. At one moment, he brings out some object that looks like an oversized mushroom and goes, "What good is this anyway? You don't want anything this big, so put that thing aside." And then another moment, apparently his little puppy's running and playing in the garden of his house, and all of a sudden he's like, come here. Then he picks him up, showing off his groin area and be like, "Look at his dick. He don't even have a dick, but he's satisfied. He got no problem interacting with other dogs." Yeah, that dude's crazy, man, but it looks like that's what people love about him. So the bottom line is this: your cock is only yours, no matter how small or big it may be. That is a unique, wonderful gift of nature. Just don't worry about anything, because it's simply not worth it. Instead, why don't you spend more time and energy on having fun studying sex? Study and practice how to kiss, tease, build up anticipation, use your tongue, use your fingers, and all the good stuffs. About where and how to touch a woman's body, I mentioned a little bit on one of the pages of my website, so you're more than welcome to check it out. Once I get a chance, I'll definitely be happy to do more videos or make some products in the future about the skills, training methods, practical aspects of foreplay, intercourse, how to last long enough to bring her to orgasm she's never had before, etc. Also inviting some girls too, so y'all can hear their opinions and wisdom, because when it comes to stuff like these, they are the masters. As long as they're open enough to reveal the truth and what they like and dislike. Well, if they get along enough to choose to work with me, they gotta be as open and free-minded as I am anyway. But until then, go ahead, do some research and learn how to use all the amazing tools you got in a way that makes a woman feel totally happy and satisfied with sharing a splendid intimate moment with you, and no doubt willing to call you back again, because there is no one way but are so many different ways. Acupoint of the day, Guan Yuan, also called Dantian, which means field of elixir, or Dazhongji, the energy center treated as an important point of focus for meditation, qigong, martial arts, and so on. Located 3 sun or 4 fingers below your navel. In acupuncture and moxibustion, it is said to relieve menstrual disorders for women and erectile dysfunctions for men. So, yep, I know this one has probably gone way beyond the time frame I originally expected, but especially boys and gentlemen, all the size bullshit, just knock it off, and by all means, educate yourself and learn how to please women. Work on your bedroom arts, skills, and stamina, and your ability to be present with a woman, physically and emotionally altogether. If you can do that, regardless of your size, believe me, great things will happen. Get your cock rock hard, rock her world, rock and roll. For your pleasure. Ocean.